You in these interviews are often quite dramatic. If you lose, it's a disaster. If you win, it's a transformational moment. Nonetheless, was that perhaps the biggest win of your time as Manchester United manager?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't mean a lot. It means today, but tomorrow is not going to mean a lot. It's 3 points, but it's a good victory. But I will do the same thing that I did in the last games, is try to see the game, try to, in key points we had some luck, but we fought for every ball. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half. But the most important thing, the spirit was there, and that is the beginning of everything. And sometimes you play more with the ball, and other days you play without the ball. But if you have the spirit, you can win any game.
So I was going to ask you, what did you like most about it? But would it be that, the togetherness, the fight, the spirit?
The spirit, and the belief that, of course, we need some moments like to score first. Saves from our goalkeeper, one shot on the post to start believing that we can win any game. But then you can feel it. Any transition, some moments with the ball, the team starts believing that is possible. It was a good day, but now I'm concerned about Brighton.
Not already, Ruben.
Yeah, because I had 1 year of experience, so I will enjoy it. I'm not dumb. I have to enjoy these moments, but let's focus on Brighton.
You made a couple of decisions at the start of the game that I'm sure, you know, if you'd have been stood here after a defeat, you'd have been criticised for. You brought Maguire in, and you went with that mobile front three. Just tell us a bit more about both those decisions, because clearly they worked.
It's a lack of a manager. So I was expecting that. So it's nothing new. So I get used to that. We just saw the game. We know that how important set pieces are, how important the guys that have more experience. Imagine that something happened in the beginning of the game against us. Harry Maguire has experience to help the other guys, and then Konate and Van Dijk, they like the confrontation. They like to fight. One of them goes to the ball, the other one make a second line. But you can sense that more or less all the transitions was Cunha. Cunha was so far from the centre backs that help us to take the ball.
Did you as well maybe try and play on their bad run and almost make them impatient a little bit when they were in possession?
Every time you play in this kind of environment, if you block well, especially in the beginning, you can feel the fans turning. We feel that in our stadium. All the big teams suffer from that. We try to do that. I think we have to have, of course, more possession to rest our players. They struggle in the end because they are used to have the ball. When they spend so much time without the ball, they struggle a little bit. So, but again, good win. Let's focus on the next one.
I think I asked you beforehand, would a win kind of change the story of this season? Maybe even change the story of your time in charge so far, because it's the back-to-back wins. It's a win at Anfield for the first time in a long time. It's an away win for the first time in a while. Do you think this is the moment that switches the narrative?
I think it will give us more confidence to the week. Will give a lot of pleasure to our fans that they deserve it. After Greensby, after Brentford, to have a win like this is really important. But again, that is in our hands. And this is the past. Let's focus on the future. It will change if we do the same thing, playing a little bit better, but with the same spirit. Things will change in time.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Look, he's preaching calm and sense at the moment, Ruben Amorim, and in the wake of what was a really big win for Manchester United. We saw the reaction from the players, and we certainly saw the reaction from the fans as well. It's a fourth Premier League away win under Amorim. This one, the one against Manchester City, Fulham and Leicester are the other two teams. So what can we read into it? Not just the result, Roy, but the performance of Manchester United.
Well, obviously, they had a little bit of luck today. They've scored 2 goals. Could have scored 1 or 2 more. They gave up a lot of chances, as lots of teams do when they play Liverpool. But he mentioned, again, the word belief. We look at Liverpool maybe losing it a little bit. Their belief that when they've lost 4, so for United to get a back-to-back wins, the result here today, again, if you go into the training ground this week, United will be a better place. And that's it. There'll be different energy, there'll be different vibes. They've got new players who've come to the club, particularly attacking players. And they haven't got all that baggage, I suppose, from last year when it was really negative and the results and lack of goals. So now they can bring some positivity. But again, Brighton next week, another tricky game for United. But what we're finding out about certain players at United, now we've seen today with the attacking players, what you want at United as well, or whatever about their technical skills, is lads who are big characters and big personalities. And we're seeing certainly signs of players who are playing for Man United going, yeah, these expectations, and obviously expected to win every week, I think they're embracing it. They don't look they're shying away from it. Still loads to fix. Let's not kid ourselves either at United all of a sudden some top team, far from it. But they've got signs like they're a goal threat, and obviously last year particularly when you're not scoring many goals, they were constantly under pressure at the back. But now it just eases the pressure a little bit. When you come to players like Liverpool, you go, listen, we've got 2 or 3 goals in our makeup. Even Sunderland at home, 2 goals. If you get 2 goals a game, then they've got a chance of winning some football matches.
Manchester United's recruitment has taken a bashing over the years, with Cunha and Burmo, Lomans potentially as well. Senna Lomans in goal.
Made some big saves, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, have they turned that around? Should they get praise, given that we've criticised them in the past?
Yeah, you have to do, because obviously we know the importance of recruitment in football, and we've been slagging United off for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, saying who's buying these players? But all of a sudden you look at the attacking players and what they helped. The big plus for the attacking players they brought in this summer, they paid big money for players who know the Premier League. So they're used to, whereas over the last year or two, you're looking at United buying players a lot from abroad, quality, but they couldn't seem to deal with the speed and the physicality of the Premier League. But all of a sudden, you've got 2 players who are going to get you up the pitch. They're a goal threat. They'll deal with the demands. Their bodies are robust enough. Today was a physical challenge, and they dealt with it. They weren't rolling around. So that's a big plus. And when you're in a team, you've got a couple of star players top of your pitch. You think they can get us out of jail. It gives everyone a big lift. So it's a relief to the defenders, your midfielders. So we've got some attacking players. We've all players with attacking players. Or even on a bad day, you go, hopefully they'll get us out of jail. And they kind of did that with United today, because United gave up a lot of chances. But if you feel every time the ball goes forward, someone's going to hold it up, somebody's going to go past somebody, or somebody's going to put the ball in the back of the net, that gives everyone a lift and a belief. And we saw clips of the United players in the dressing room there, and they're smiling, they're happy. What a great place to be. Success is good. Enjoy it, embrace it, but back it up next Saturday against Brighton, which would be another tricky game for United.
What have you made of Mbeumo and Cunha since they've come in?
Yeah, they look like top players, but they also look like they're good characters as well. We all know Mbeumo from obviously his time at Brentford. You sign players not just on the back of how talented they are, but what they bring to the dressing room, how they train every day, how they live their life. Cunha obviously has had their reputation, been sent off a couple of times, but I like a bit of devilment in a player. You know, you played with Eric Cantona. That's what he was like. You knew that you could get that genius, but sometimes you get a bit of madness that goes with it. He looks like he just looks right, and he looks complete in a Manchester United shirt. So good recruitment. As you say, the goalkeeper, you've got to celebrate that one as well. And whatever way you look at it, some of the players that they've decided to leave the club, like Garnacho, Sancho, Rashford, for whatever reason, the club didn't feel that they were the right kind of characters, so they've not had them and they've moved them on. So instead, they're changing that. And then you change the environment and you change the culture at the club. Then you start to see that the young players, rather than looking at people that maybe don't conduct themselves in the right way at training, maybe turn up late, maybe don't give 100% in training, then things start to change. And that's what you're trying to achieve. That's what Manchester City have had. That's what probably Liverpool have had over the last few years, where they've had brilliant senior players, even if you take it back to the Jordan Henderson and James Milner and Virgil van Dijk. Good players, good people leading the way, setting the right examples, goes a long way in football. And I think that's why their recruitment is not just about signing good players, but also good characters. And also,
we talk about the players, but the manager will get a big lift from this. He's been under huge pressure, heavily criticised, attacked as a system. And not just the manager, his staff. They will go back. They'll get a bit of confidence from that. We can compete against Liverpool, but obviously we're going to do it week in, week out. So it's the lift for the staff, who've obviously been heavily criticised as well.
Well, what do you make of the system and the tactical nous of Ruben Amorim? That has come in for a lot of criticism. Does today show that it can work?
Well, no, it's still, listen, it's still a long way back for United. Again, they're giving up lots of chances. I'm not sure still about the balance at the back or whatever. But we talk about these big clubs. Man United is about top players and big characters, big personality, and they showed that today. And as I said, the couple of attackers they brought in, and the goalkeeper made some big saves today. That'll make a huge difference to him, absolutely. And they'll start looking at the table now, and all of a sudden you're looking, top 4, top 5. Have that belief and confidence that you can compete and start getting back to being a really decent team.
Well,
people talk about enjoying it. You don't. You're so focused.
You're suffering on the pitch
because it means so much, and you're so focused, and you want it's business, and you understand the whole game and what it is, and it puts that intensity, that focus, the concentration, and your will to win is so that you don't really take it in. You don't smile and enjoy it. But certainly going into the changing room after a game like that, when you've had such a big win, They're the things that we miss, huh? They're the best moments, apart from scoring goals like he did. That walking into a changing room like
That's
that.
the only bit that I enjoyed about playing as well. As you say, I mean, people think football is so much fun, and of course it is, training every week. But when it's game day, it's serious. You can't lose. You know, the pressure's on. Fans are there. You don't want to let anybody down. Don't let the team, your teammates down. And a lot of the time when you're playing in these games, you're playing against good players, and it makes you suffer. You're having to run harder, concentrate harder. You're exhausted by the end of the game. And as Michael says, you get into the change rooms after, and everything has gone well. You've won the game. At last, you can enjoy it.
Well, let's get some Manchester United reaction. Ruben Amorim in a moment. But first of all, the match winner who'd been to Anfield every time before today as a United player and not got that winning feeling. He did, courtesy of his goal. Here's Harry Maguire.
Well, Harry, last year at the same end, so nearly the hero. This year, you made it count. We saw the celebrations at the end. Does that just mean everything?
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, listen, they've had the better of us over the last few years. We know that, and it's not been good enough for our club, and we've not given our fans nowhere near enough days like today. So it's been a long time coming to this ground and picking up 3 points. But it means. I think it's the old cliche, it's only 3 points, but it's definitely not. It means a lot more than that to the boys, to the clubs, to the fans. I've been here 7 years now, and to come to this ground every time and not get 3 points has been tough. So yeah, it's for the fans, and I hope they have a great night tonight, because of course it is only 3 points on the table, but to come here and do it over Liverpool, and like I said, they have been a top team over the years, and they've been a lot better in recent years, so it's nice to get one over them.
Well, Ruben, I'm conscious that the questions for you in these interviews are often quite dramatic. If you lose, it's a disaster. If you win, it's a transformational moment. Nonetheless, was that perhaps the biggest win of your time as Manchester United manager?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't mean a lot. It means today, but tomorrow is not going to mean a lot. It's 3 points, but it's a good victory. But I will do the same thing that I did in the last games, is try to see the game, try to, in key points we had some luck, but we fought for every ball. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half. But the most important thing, the spirit was there, and that is the beginning of everything. And sometimes you play more with the ball, and other days you play without the ball. But if you have the spirit, you can win any game.
Well, he's only the third Premier League manager to win a league game at Anfield in the last 3 years, and the first Manchester United one since Louis van Gaal back in 2016, courtesy of Harry Maguire, who you worked with day in, day out, who you know very, very well, who's been through the mill, it's fair to say, in his United career. How much did he deserve that moment today, Michael?
Honestly, he's probably the number one choice for me for everything that he's been through. He's been to the extreme, really, and sampled what it's really like to play for Manchester United. And he certainly had probably more downs than ups. But today is, I'm sure, the way he felt as that went in and the final whistle went, and he was the hero. I'm sure that was probably his best moment, I have to say. He's done it enough times. He's scored a lot of late goals over the time that he's been at the club, and especially over the last year or so, and he stepped up, and he's always fronted up. He's always been there. He's always put himself out. He's played. He puts himself in areas where he almost, some players will hide and shelter themselves, even in games, you know, and he puts himself in there. He defends the box. He goes in there, and he's prepared to go in there and maybe miss a chance, but to score a goal. And his character and mentality shone through. So I'm absolutely delighted for him today, you know, because your intentions and your attitude go a long way, and you always hope that if you keep doing the right things, you'll get your rewards. And it's one moment, but it's a huge moment for him today.
Imagine how thick his skin is after all those years. I mean, there's been so many disappointments. Managers have changed over the years, so they might only get a year or two of going through the mill. Harry Maguire's been there
when
7 years.
Ollie and Michael were there, obviously he was their captain. He had that taken off him, didn't he, by the previous manager?
Well, as I say,
out of the team.
The first thing I said there is, imagine how thick his skin is. I mean, there's some really tough jobs in this world. I think Manchester United's captain, Manchester United centre-half over the last 7 years is right up there with one of the tougher jobs. Not for the faint-hearted, and it must have really built his character. And, he's still there, he's still standing, he's still performing. He's obviously scored the winner at Anfield, and that'll taste so good to him. I think his best times over the years have probably been in an England shirt, because that's where he's had the most success in recent years, even though England have not won anything. They've gone deep into top competitions, and he's been a pivotal part of that. But I think that will really top it for Harry Maguire, and obviously it's down to Manchester United now to continue this run. How many times have we said, is this the corner turn? It has to be.
We have to ask that question because for the first time under Ruben Amorim, they finally won back-to-back league games, which sounds extraordinary to say, but could this be a catalyst for some consistency now?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think it's like Harry said about 3 points is the cliche of 3 points, but that emotion deep down, that feeling that you gain from and experience from a result like that, that even the back-to-back games and the back-to-back wins probably won't be on their agenda right now. It's the fact they've gone to Liverpool and won, and it's hard to describe. You can talk tactics, you can talk about the game to players, but in terms of when they go there and feel the occasion and together and look towards each other and think, I know what you can do, you stood by me and we trust each other, that takes a big lift from a result like that. Of course it's what's next and there's games coming up and there'll be tests ahead, there always is, but I think they'll take a huge amount from that, the staff, the manager and the players.
It's well done. I mean, to be a Manchester United player, to win at Anfield against Liverpool, it hasn't happened since 2016. How good does that feel today?
Yeah, obviously, amazing feeling. I think it's been a long time, so to win it in this phase of the season, such an important game, is obviously a really nice feeling.
And to win it in the way you did, through Harry Maguire having conceded the equaliser, must have been some adrenaline rush.
Yeah, obviously the fact that we could still score the winner 2-1 says enough about our mental strength today. I think we were all really hyped and really, the focus was really high today, and this is something that's amazing. And I think the most important thing is that we keep continuing that, even in other games, because that's something that we lack sometimes. So with today I'm really happy.
And you're happy for Harry Maguire. He's a scorer of big goals in the last 12 months or so, isn't he?
No, I'm really happy for H. I'm really happy for H. He played a really good game today. It's not easy to come in after not have played the last game, so it's a big compliment to him. But not only to him, I think also today the subs made a really big difference. If you see how, for example, Lenny Yoro comes in last 50 minutes. As a defender, to come in last minutes is the most difficult thing to do, but how he did it is amazing. So not only H, but the whole squad today was amazing.
And to keep Liverpool at bay the way you did when they're attacking the Kop, it must have been a real test of concentration there at the end.
Yeah, today was a game that you really have to be concentrated, especially with the crosses they put in. If you lose your concentration for 1 second, it's a goal. And this is something that we did really well today. Unfortunately, the goal we conceded was maybe just a little moment that was the lack of concentration, but for the rest, I think we did it really well.
And could this finally be the trigger? I mean, it's the first time under your manager you've won back-to-back Premier League games, a fantastic place to do it. Can this kick you on now to some consistency?
Let's hope so. Obviously, it's the first time since a long time that we win 2 games in a row. So this is obviously, for the confidence, really good. Winning at Anfield against the champions of last year is obviously also for the confidence amazing. So, yeah, let's continue on this road. Keep working hard, and hopefully the next game against Brighton I think we put in the same performance.
And just to put it into context, you're only the third team to win at Anfield in the last 3 years in the Premier League. You've been at United long enough now to know what this fixture means to your supporters.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
You know what this win means to Manchester United supporters now. You've been at the club long enough.
Yeah, of course I know. Less week in the street sometimes. Some people are saying, hey, Sunday is Liverpool, you have to be ready. So you know what it means to the people and also to the fans. You know, we had a lot of difficult moments last season. This season also some difficult moments, but to give them also some joy in this phase of the season is something that, as a player, gives also a lot of joy to give them a nice evening. I think every United fan today can enjoy this win and have a good dinner tonight.
Absolutely. You too. Well played. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
That is one Dutch defender. Here is another, the Liverpool captain, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, obviously you wanted desperately to end the losing run today. It hasn't quite happened. Why do you think not?
I think because obviously we conceded a very sloppy second goal. We worked so hard to get back into the game. We created opportunities to score the winner. But if you concede the second goal like that, obviously that's a disappointing part. And I think overall, if you look at the game, we were far too rushed. I think we were making wrong decisions at time, and that was also the moments where we were open if we lost the ball, and disappointed day.
Far too rushed because of the games you've lost, and almost trying too hard, maybe, do you think?
No, I think United was obviously very patient. They didn't press us that high. They didn't, they let us on the ball, and I think we made rash decisions at time where obviously we had to stay maybe a little bit calm, but we still obviously created many opportunities to score and win the game. But the reality is that we lost, and it's an interesting time now that we have to stick together, and not only us as players, but together with our fans and everyone that wants us to win.
Yeah, interesting time. Virgil van Dijk says they have to stick together. They've got the character and the belief. He was saying that to me this week when I went to the training ground to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen teams losing 4 games before on their own. You think, wow, where is the next win going to come from? The confidence looks gone. They're playing awful. They can't score. I don't see that with Liverpool at the moment. Going away to Chelsea in the last game, lots of teams lose at Stamford Bridge, and they lost them with the last kick of the game. It was a 50-50 game. Today, again, they played pretty well. I mean, they do look a little bit ragged at the back. Certainly in the first half, I thought they looked a bit stronger in the second half. The first half, they looked a little bit ragged at the back, but they're going forward and they're creating chances. As I mentioned earlier, they hit the post 2 or 3 times.
What about the chance at 2-1 for Cody Gakpo? I mean, most other days this goes in and we're having a different conversation, aren't we?
And that is football. That's OK. Creating chances, missing chances, that will always happen. The more chances you create, the more you're going to miss. So this is always going to happen. Yeah, it's a big miss. Yes, obviously, it might have been a game changer. Of course it would have. But as long as you're creating the chances, then Liverpool will be OK. And as I say, I don't look at Liverpool thinking, wow, this is a team that are really lacking in all kinds. I actually think quite the opposite. I actually think they played quite well today. And Manchester United, did really well themselves. Full credit to Manchester United. So everybody will be hurt in the Liverpool dressing room. The fans will go home a little bit unhappy, let's say. But I still think they've got a lot to look forward to. And, put it this way, when Arsenal are watching the Premier League results next week, again, they'll be thinking, hope Liverpool lose. They're still our big challengers. And that's the case.
Yeah, for me, I think with the Liverpool one, I think it's all good teams going to great teams. You're going to suffer at certain points. And it's how you get through that period and to turn into a really great team, to go back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back in terms of leagues. It's never smooth. You don't win every game. You go through patches and like Michael said, I think they're playing well enough to... We spoke about before the game, actually, about Virgil van Dijk seemed to be like, we'll be all right, we'll get through it, and he had that element of confidence. He obviously very disappointed speaking in the interview. We've just finished the game, but I think when the dust settles, I think they'll still take that, a bit of belief and confidence. But that's the challenge, to turn to be good to very good to great, to keep that. And it's a bit of a slightly new team, and to evolve, I think you've got to have that riding out the tougher times. And I think they will. I think they're doing enough to get. But it is a test for them. It is a challenge for them.
Michael made a really good point, I thought, before the game, when he was talking about, as players, you lose 2 or 3 games, and when you've got that elite mindset, when you are the champions, when you are winners, it's easy for you to shrug it off and just think, we'll bounce back, we're too good to... And that's fine, that's all right. Other people from outside can think, oh, what's going wrong at Liverpool, what's going wrong? But inside, as long as you're still thinking, yeah, we're still playing well, it's just a little blip. Now, obviously, the longer it goes on, the more you could start doubting it, and your confidence can start going, maybe. At the moment, I still think they're playing well enough and feeling well enough about themselves. Lots of fit players, lots of chances being created.
Lots of chances.
Exactly. I still think they'll come off the pitch today not having their confidence battered at all. I think they'll still be thinking, do you know what? We're playing well enough to win games. It's just not going our way at the moment. And that's really important, because once your confidence, once your self-belief starts going, then you can slide away. But I do think it's just a blip in their season. I think they're playing well enough for us not to think it's a crisis. And I think the stats today will show that.
And I also think the timing of the season, when you have that run or you have that blip, is massive. The finishing line's a long, long way away yet. So actually to have this blip, and I know, you know, to win the league now, you've got to win more games than probably I was fortunate enough to do back in the day. But I think as momentum goes, if this was February, March, and coming towards the end, you'd be like, there's a fragility there. I think there's more than enough time to put a run together before the end of the season. It just feels at the moment it's a bit of a run. But I think they'll get through it. I think there's plenty of time and there's plenty of football to go, and there's enough good signs for Liverpool to march on.
And talking of belief, what does it do to a United player to win at Anfield? As I mentioned to Matthijs de Ligt, only 3 teams have done that, you know, in a long time in the Premier League at Anfield.
I think it's probably bigger than we can all appreciate from an individual point of view as well, of each player going through it and feeling it. Experiences kind of set you up, positive and negative, but to actually feel a big win like that at a time when they really needed it, to pull them together, to give them that confidence to think, actually, we can do this. It's hard to put kind of a gauge on how much that is, but individually and as a person and as a character, I think it gives you so much. It's what's happened next. It always is win, lose or draw, but I think that's a really, really big one today for them.
And especially when none of them really have done it before. I mean, I'm sure there's 1 or 2 players.
No, you could hear Harry Maguire, couldn't you? What it meant?
Exactly. This is a new experience for them, and they've not had much success as a team. I mean, talk about past teams winning titles and winning things like this. This could be as big a win as they've had as that squad, so it'll do wonders for their confidence.